I'm not making the sacrifice, who gonna do it? And we
Right.
talked about that relay race before, bro. We talked about the relay race. We said if I'm in the middle of my race right now, if I don't do everything that I possibly can to make sure that I'm closer to the finish line to make sure that they get a good start, then I'm a failure as a parent anyway. Like that's how I feel right there. I'm a failure as a parent if I can't raise the bar and make it so that they have a easier start. Listen to what I'm saying. That they had a easier start than I had. I need to make sure that they have an easier start right now. My problem is that right now, if my kids are born, they don't come from a different situation than what I came from. Some people not understanding that. I got people saying, "All right, yo, you need to go ahead and have this baby. You need to go ahead and make this happen." And I'm like, yo.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me. Not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build a game.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. We're back in the lab once again. But before we get started, please trample over that like, subscribe, share button, because we do this for y'all, because we love y'all. We do this to motivate you guys on the way to the place that's about to suck the motivation right out of you.
Yeah, and take two.
Take two.
Take two. I just want everybody to know we not perfect. We did a whole preamble joint. It happened. It took us we did it in about 5 minutes, but it's 5 minutes is lost. It ain't as bad as the I mean, right now we sitting at about 2 hours and 5 minutes of lost content that the world would never get to see. That the world would never get to see here, and it's crazy because that could have been the one thing that somebody needed to hear to change their life, or the one conversation that somebody needed to stay alive, man. Divine intervention is a crazy concept. We talking like a 3-second shift to the left or right, or the difference between you getting to work on time or getting to work 30 seconds late. It could have saved somebody's life. Like we talking like stuff like that. So I went there to kind of do some filler stuff, but that got a way deeper than I wanted it to be. But yeah, man. We not perfect. That's what I was getting at. We never claim to be perfect. We never claim to be know-it-alls. I know I'm a bit omniscient sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you. I am very omniscient, but I'm working on that a little bit.
Word. I feel that. And it's crazy because we live in a world where everyone wants to be perfect, but like the definition of perfect, if you're trying to put perfect in front of like a human being, it's not perfect. Like your perfect is it has flaws. Perfect human has flaws. Perfect human has good and bad. It you have fear, you have courage, you have motivated, you have depression, you have it's all those emotions are bundled into your human lifespan, your human whatever. Like it, and people they try to only focus on the good or only focus on the bad, and they try to neglect the other side, and
Mm-hmm.
all that causes for is like more hurt. Like it doesn't have a positive effect or whatever, right? uh
Mm-hmm.
like if you're focused, it's kind of like yin and yang. You can't have one without the other. It's a perfect balance. Like you're gonna have those emotions regardless. People try to put them in a box, push to the side, but then that box overflows, and then you lashing out and all this other stuff, right?
Yeah. One thing that I like that you said about perfection one time was perfection is the destination.
Mm,
And why the hell would you want to be at the destination? Because at the destination, you done.
yeah.
And I kind of live by that, especially in tandem with the silver wing mentality and the silver wing philosophy. Like I live by that. So I don't strive for perfection. I strive to chase the one that claims to be perfect.
Mm. Ooh, ooh, I like that. I like that. That's crazy. I was thinking of something yesterday. Uh I don't know where it just came out of nowhere. I was like, a lot of people out here trying to uh be like their hero, be in the image or the shadow of their hero, right? And
Hmm.
I'm like, why isn't people's goals to be the person that defeats their hero, like that, to surpass their hero, to
Mm.
be better than that? Like
Oh.
the tools are there. Like, they didn't have the same resources as you do now, so why not learn from them and then put your own little twist to it and just surpass them?
Right. Yeah. That's crazy, man, that you said that because I never thought of it that way.
Mhm.
But I think it's one of those situations of where it's like the Wizard of Oz, man. You following the yellow brick road, and you think at the end, your hero gonna be standing there with open arms, telling you how proud they are
Mhm.
of you, and then you get there and you realize, like, you just been watching cameras.
Mm. Yep.
Like you get there, you realize that like that dude is a human.
Mhm.
Like you get there, or that female that position that you going for, or that certain type of lifestyle that you think you want. Like you get there and you realize that it ain't what you thought it was gonna be, and now you hurt at the end because your expectations were out of whack. So, I felt that recently with this the situation that I'm in and at my job, man. I felt that like I felt that wholeheartedly, man. Coming up from the absolute bottom. And, there are people who they put a lot of emphasis on the fact that you can possibly climb up. They put a lot of emphasis on that. People who want to hear the American dream, they love to hear that, right? They love to hear that you can come off the streets and work for a company for a little bit, and then you can climb up. But then, I get you get to that spot that the against all odds, you get
Mhm.
up there and you just like, what is this? Like, this ain't what I signed up for, man. I thought I was gonna be here to do some good, man. Y'all just got me babysitting, man. Like, you
Mhm.
just got me doing your job, and you get paid for it. You get the promotion for it. Like, you get. They look at you like you looking good, man. I'm like, yo, what is this, bruh? Speaking of, man, I got some stuff that I want to ask you about, bro. I want to know if I'm tripping. I can't even bring it to the podcast, man. But it just remind me that I had something that I wanted to talk about at the end. So yeah, man, it's that yellow brick road, man. Once you find Oz, man, Oz get to looking at you and you realize that dude human like you, man. It gets bad.
Yeah, and I don't really know about them expectations. I don't understand why people have them so. I guess not even high, because I would say, sometimes it's even the opposite. Like people have like low expectation of things. Like people always expect like the bad to happen, in relationships and in jobs, and like I can't move up in this job field because of XYZ, or I can't because everyone's out to get me. I can't because just
Mm,
this whole laundry list of BS, like stuff that hasn't
yeah,
even happened, stuff that
yeah,
hasn't even been like shown. Like there's no evidence that this stuff is gonna happen, but like you
yeah.
just so negative that you can't see anything positive out of
Mm,
anything in life. Like you in a relationship, you can't even see positivity that this person is gonna love me unconditionally. You work in a job, you don't even think that they got your best interest. But they got this great benefit plan. They putting you through college and all this other stuff. uh you trying to go for a career, you don't even think your business is going to be successful. You got this awesome product that you made, by hand, just something new, but you just, oh, nobody's going to like this because no one's done this before, so no one's going to like it. But you haven't even marketed that thing, you haven't even put it out there, you ain't even shared it with your friends because you just so negative, right? It's baffling.
but yeah, I I'm the type of person like whenever I'm looking at moving up and like whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is that I want to do, man. Like whether it's like the even jumping into the doing my following my author career, man.
Mm-hmm.
Promotions at work, like I'm the type of person that, and I'm not sure if everybody do this or not, man. I can't say that everybody operates on the same level. I did realize recently I'm built a whole lot different than most people. Like I've realized that very recently, as recent of yesterday. I thought I was,
Uh,
I mean, I was like, yo, maybe I'm just making that up, and I'm just feeling good about me. But I realized yesterday, bro, I'm really built different than most people, dog. Like I ain't even gonna go there. But I'm the type of person that if I got something that I want to do, man, I'm trying to figure out, especially after finding Alyssa the way I did. And I don't know, I can't say one way or another if my affirmations made that happen the way it did. All I know is I ain't find her before that happened. And I don't know if finding her before I started making my affirmations, I don't know if I would have been able to to accomplish what I'm about to accomplish in 2 weeks, if you know what I'm saying. The thing is, like, most people when they're like Mark said, you looking to do something more with your life, but for whatever reason you just dreading on all of the possibilities of the bad stuff that can happen to you. And what I did was I changed my focus and changed my mindset to say, all
mhm,
right, so here's what happens when I do this. So whenever I get this promotion, whenever I start this new business, whenever I jump into this new lifestyle, there's a thing of fitting in, of
mm,
going with the flow of traffic. You know what I mean? um, Things like that. You can't just go in and be the person that you always been when you change your situation. So when you change your situation, one of the things that people love that you ask them in interviews, Mark, is the one question that everybody loves that you ask in an interview. Interview can go completely bad, but you ask this one question, and it might turn the interview around. I ain't saying that's a guarantee, but like people love to know that you want to know what's the environment going to be like if I start this job. So I asked the question of, what does the average day look like for somebody in this position?
mm,
What are the things of some of the challenges that you may see from somebody that work in this position, and what are the things that you think could actually help them become better at their job? Like things like that, bro. Like you got to change your mindset, change your focus to fit into the environment or the role that you're trying to go into, and it might change up a lot of things, man. Because like what happens is you start to develop yourself into somebody that needs this, or somebody that fits into this. You know what I mean? Like you can't go into a relationship and say that you want a good man, woman, or whatever the case is, but you're not trying to be the best partner you can be. when I started my relationship with Alyssa, I had a list of things that, I wrote a list of things that I want my woman to be. And then on the other hand, on the other side of that sheet of paper, I wrote down a list of things that I need to be to keep that woman, because at first I won't. But some of y'all ain't willing to change. That's the problem right there. Some of y'all ain't willing to go through that hurt and develop yourself to become a better person, to even be in the situation that you're trying to be in. You're trying to start businesses, but you're trying to start businesses on a 40-hour work week mindset. You're trying to start businesses. You're trying to start a businesses, but you looking for your tax refund check and not looking into the lifestyle of a person who pay taxes. Like, it don't make sense to be the person that you always were, because the person that you always were ain't gonna do nothing but get what you always got.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
the harsh reality that people ain't really focusing on.
Yeah. Yeah. It. So I listened to this podcast recently. I forget the name of it, but they talk about just that, like everything from the beginning of what you just said to like the end. What you did was you manifested the lifestyle
Yep,
that you wanted.
there it is.
Like you made it clear, you made it, you wrote it down, you put it out there, and the universe, God, or whatever you want to call it, it answered. Like, people don't understand how powerful manifestation is. Once you have a clear objective, like, the world is your playground. Like, anything is possible. You just have to have a clear vision of it. You have to know exactly what you want, and that might be the problem. People don't know what they want. They just
Mm-hmm.
they want something, but they don't know the specifics of what they want, so they grab for anything. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
they got blinders on, and they want to be led to something great, instead of taking the blinders off, finding that path themselves and going for it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, you made it plain. The God answered. Like, you was like, hey, this is what I want, and this is what I need to be to get what I want. And, like, I think that was take one. We talked about yin and yang. Take one. It was a balance, so it was able to be accepted in your life, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people have a hard time finding that balance, finding that, all right, so I want this. I'm gonna have to do or be XYZ to get A, to get this main product that I want. Um, and a lot of people, they will overthink it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, there'll be that negative Nancy, and I can't have that because I don't know what that looks like. I can't have that because I didn't grow up having that. Like we said on the previous podcast, because of their environment, because of their upbringing, uh
Mm-hmm.
they're comfortable in that space. Like, that's their default. A lot of people don't understand that they can go into their own settings and change them to fit their needs, change themselves to be a great person, but people are just so stuck on default, because it's just set there by default. Like, it's normal. This is how everyone is.
All right.
Like you said, everybody is. Oh, this is me. So you either accept it or you go on. Like, no,
All right.
no. People don't have to do that. People have built themselves up. A lot of people have built themselves from the ground up, broke themselves down, figured out, all right, this is my quirk, this is my this is my no zone, this is my go zone, and they just move forward. They move through life knowing their flaws, knowing that they can do great things when they apply themselves and just go for it.
Mm, mm.
Segue into you might be going somewhere.
You had a perfect segue right there. You I got you. Um
Anyway,
so one of
it's
the
oh
best the
mm,
one of the deepest things that I don't know if other people put this much thought into it, Mark.
mm,
I ain't gonna lie. I'm an overthinker as it pertains to things.
same.
I'm that
Same.
type of person that analyzes things to the anatomical level. And I don't know if it's healthy or not, bro. Like I'm just being real. Like I get the moments where I'm just like I have to defy my own brain anytime I make a decision. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. It was one of the biggest reasons I procrastinated before. One of the reasons why it took me 10 years to finally release a book because I overthink things, man. Like I make things more complicated than it need to be. So in order to actually do and execute, I have to trick my own brain and into like find a cheat code pretty much. Like you said, the settings, like my settings are locked. Like my settings are locked to overthink. Overclock. Like a computer is like. It's like a computer that you overclock, but you can't turn overclock off. But your computer steadily running hot and bottlenecking because it's running hot and it's stuck on overclock. So I found the code to keep that from happening or work around it so to actually get to it. But one of the challenges that I've been having recently was the man, like I'm preparing to become a father, man. Like we not there yet. Like physically, we not there. I don't think I need to break that down no more. But the biology ain't caught up yet. If I need to make it any clearer, but spiritually, we ready for it. The time is right. We get married in 2 weeks, and man, we've been talking about starting a family, man. And like one of the things that's been working my nerve is that you're not even in the position that you want to be in. Like you're not where you're supposed to be at. You said by 30 you were going to have a whole completely different, like you will have a whole completely different life. You supposed to be successful by now. You supposed to have money by now. You supposed to have been out of corporate America by now. Like all these things are going through my head with each passing day, and I'm just like, yo, I gotta do these things before I had kids because by the time I have kids, I know I'm gonna want to like be around for them, and I ain't gonna want to be working like that. So like one of my challenges is that like we coming up to grind time where it's put up or shut up, and I'm sitting back here like feeling bad for myself because I'm not in the position that I want to be at. And like one, I don't want to be chasing that position, chasing my dreams while while they had to suffer because they father not around or they father not present because he just chasing his dreams. So like that's one of my challenges right now, man, because I'm like, yo, I don't know where this is going. Like it's like you can predict certain things, right? You can make like you can fantasize about certain situations. You can come up with all these certain situations, but like for whatever reason, like this particular situation, man, like I can't predict it. Like even my relationship down to what it is right now, I predicted it. I manifested it. Mark said use that word manifest earlier. For right now, like this, for whatever reason, like I'm drawing a blank here. So like I need some help on that in that category. I'm working through it, and I wanted to bring it up to this podcast, talk about it on this episode in particular, man.
All right. So first of all, like there was a lot there. And for some reason, first thing I want to address off bat is like for some reason people have this mindset, and I literally just saw it like before we got on this podcast. Uh, People see kids as baggage, and it's like the most negative, derogative thing I think that like people can classify a child as. Like that is it, it's because the post I saw, it was like this young lady. She was like, "If you have kids, don't talk to me. I don't want no man with baggage." And I'm like, yo, that's someone's child. Like, it doesn't matter the terms of how that child got brought into the world. Like, that's another human being. You basically just said, I don't want a person because they have a a human being that they have to bring up, that they have to teach, that they have to uh keep their focus on. Like that, a
Mm.
lot of times that's people's main focus when dealing with people with kids is, you know, they're not gonna be all about me. They're gonna be about, this child. They have a responsibility to this child to take care of first, and then it's gonna be me. Then I get the scraps or the seconds of that person's love or whatever, and it it drives me crazy when I see things like that, and I'm just like, people have this weird stigma of, all right, when I have kids, it's gonna be the end all be all. My main focus is gonna have to shift. I can't do things for myself. I'm gonna have to basically raise this human being on up till he's 18, so forth. And it's it's a part of life. Like, once you get to a certain level of mastery, you go into a teaching field while also being a student and learning yourself. All it is you passing on knowledge to continue on your legacy, to continue the mindset of who is Aaron Mack, who is Marcus Morton, who is the person listening to this podcast. It's not a a life sentence, I don't understand where we get this. And I commend you and Alyssa, because not a lot of people, if people are doing this, I don't know them. Hopefully later down the line we meet more people like that want to uh that plan like you guys do. you know a lot of people, when they're talking to their kids, when they're explaining how they came to be, it's like, oh well, there was this one time, I your mom was drinking, I was drinking, and it just happened. It wasn't planned. It was, they'd be like, oh well, you just kind of popped out of thin air there, buddy. And it's like, it's insane. Like, at least you guys, you knew what you wanted. You can sit down with your child and it's like, hey, we wanted you here. We wanted you to be here. We wanted to bring you into this world to do great things, to find yourself, or, figure out what you want to do in life, and just be here. Uh a lot of people, especially the person that brought this topic up, they didn't really have that good upbringing. I'm pretty sure that, and I think they said it too, that their home lifestyle was very rough. The siblings that they had, they weren't on the best of terms.
You're talking about
Family.
somebody else, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. We, yeah, I was the one that brought this topic to the episode, but he's referring to another young fella who works with us.
Mm.
Go
Uh,
ahead, Mark.
they have that very negative mindset. They just like that person that I saw made that post in the morning. They think just like that. They think of kids as baggage. They think that if they were in a relationship with another person that had kids, they're like, they would be totally, in the background. They're like, I'm not dealing with that. That's not my child. I didn't, and it's like, why does that matter? Like, yes, that's not your kid, but are you saying you're not gonna do anything? Like, you're just
Pretty much.
basically saying, like, bump that child. I mean, like, if your mindset doesn't go to helping that young lady or that child, like, how do you view charities? How do you view any type of partnership in life like that? Like, do you see charities as like, I'm not giving them my money because it's just gonna go to a waste, it's not gonna help anybody, and all this other stuff? Like, people that think like that just really like I have a big heart, so like things like that I advocate for that. I would do those things. I would help out if someone needs help. But this person or these people that think like the person we're talking about, they're just so negative that like they close off everyone. They're stuck in their ways. They're always bringing down the team. They're always about me, me, me. Like the simplest of things is like a big mountain for them to cross, and it's just it's baffling.
All right, so I saw that advice,
Mm,
and I wanted to ask somebody who was experienced, and like I said before, I'm not a psychologist. I don't have a PhD in human philosophy. Like I don't. You just kind of know who you around, know your environment, and know the people that you associate yourself with. And
mm,
I felt really bad after having a conversation with one of my coworkers, not because and this is weird because you want to talk to somebody with experience,
mm,
but when that person ain't where you want to be at in life, it gets kind of saddening, bro. Like when you think about it, like yo, I'm in an environment where somebody thinks like that, and like
mm,
we're in the same situation, but they can't teach me nothing. Like it's horrible, right? Like you just like, why am I in this environment? Why am I in this situation? So I went and asked my counterpart, and I was like, I told her what I was struggling with, and she, good hearted person. I ain't gonna say nothing bad about her, but survival mindset. Like that's all she had.
mm,
She had survival. Like she ain't at thrive. Like and people who ain't at thrive, like they don't know. They can't tell you nothing when you trying to succeed. Like there's nothing that they can possibly tell you. They don't have anything to add to you when they're on survive. When you on that defense mentality, when you everything you do is like defend what I have, make what I can get, like take what I can get.
mm,
Nothing can come from those type of people because they're defending everything that they have. So and they're not trying to put anything out. So there's nothing that they could teach you. So I ended up in this situation. I was asking her, and I'm like, yo, I told her everything I just said. Um, and she said, actually, I believe that you're going to be a great father.
mm,
And she told me why. And she was like, I see how you respond to certain situations. You're calm, you're level headed, and all these other things. And I'm like, all right, cool. I was like, thank you for that. And I was like, but one of my biggest challenges is that I'm worried about the balance between my goals or chasing my dreams
mm,
and being a good father. And for whatever reason, she kept telling me that I need to be sure that that I want kids. And I'm like, I never said I didn't want kids. I don't know why we keep coming here. Like I want kids. Like
that stigma. Hmm.
I'm not trying not to have kids. But what I'm trying to do is make sure that when I have them, I'm in a good space mentally and physically to do what I need to do in my
Hmm.
life as well as be a good father. Like I don't there is no either or here. Like why but for whatever reason, even after I said that, she said you need to be sure. I'm like, I never said I wasn't sure. What is happening here? So like
Hmm.
I said I wanted like for all right. So here in full transparency, here's what she was trying to tell me. She was saying that when it was all said and done, after the conversation was over, she told me that I need that at the point of at the point of having kids, she said, at the point of execution, right? She said, when you have kids, it's not the time to be sacrificing for your goals.
Hmm.
Yeah. She said that once you have kids, you have to shift your focus entirely to them. And I was like, yo, how was that even, how are you even allowed to tell a human being that? And like, all right, so like for real,
Because that's what their parents did to them. That's what their parents did to their parents, and so forth and so forth. It, it's a never ending cycle, and it's like if you constantly apply a formula that doesn't work, you see that doesn't work. Like your lifestyle ain't the best. Yeah, your parents' lifestyle wasn't the best. Wouldn't you think you should be adding something or taking something out, trying something different
thank
for it
you.
to work?
Thank you. Because I'm like, who if I'm not making the sacrifice, who gonna do it?
And
And
right.
we talked about that relay race before, bro. We
Mm-hmm.
talked about the relay race. We said if I'm in the middle of my race right now, if I don't do
Mm-hmm.
everything that I possibly can to make sure that I'm closer to the finish line, to make sure that they get a good start, then I'm a failure as a parent anyway. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
how I feel right there. I'm a failure as a parent if I can't raise the bar and make it so that they have a easier start. Listen to what I'm saying. That they had a easier start than I had. I need to make sure that they have an easier start right now. My problem is that right now, if my kids are born, they don't come from a different situation than what I came from.
Mm.
Some people not understanding that. I got people saying, "All right, yo, you need to go ahead and have this baby. You need to go ahead and make this happen." And I'm like, "Yo, y'all don't understand, bro. I am in a mental battle right now with myself and my reality right now because I know you, and you're telling me that I need to hurry up and have a baby, or you telling me that I need to quit my goals to make sure that this baby is good. Like I'm like, yo, I don't believe any of that. I don't believe any of it. I don't trust y'all's information right now. Like that's how I'm feeling right now. Like and I think and I want to say that it's because we don't know anybody who is at that level. And I want to highly lean on that right now that we not in a position where we know people who've been doing it, but we know people doing it, bro.
Yep.
We know people who making it happen. And I'm like, yo, how are y'all so stuck right now? And it's like every single thing that they do is just is monotonous. Like it's sit still where you at. Don't go nowhere. We can't go on vacation because we got kids. We can't do this because we got kids. We can't make nothing happen because we got kids. We can't go enjoy ourselves because we have kids. And I'm like, yo, there's people out here living their lives with their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh, I don't know if you watch Riverdale or not, but it's a chick on there who she came from Disney, was a child star, ended up growing up in the shadows, ain't really bother nobody.
Uh-huh.
Good chick. Vanessa Morgan, man. I idolize this woman, bro, because she got pregnant. I don't even know if it was a dude in the picture. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I follow her on Instagram. I ain't seen not one dude, but she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
She got a kid. And bruh, she literally goes on vacation every week, bruh,
That's
with
crazy.
the kid. With the
That's
kid, bruh. She backpacking. She backpacking through foreign countries. Her kid on her back, bruh. Just enjoying her life, man. And I'm like, yo, for real, like she can do that. And granted, she got a little bit more money than we got, but like, there's still people, even Alyssa knows some people who doing it, bruh. They just
yeah.
like them and they kid just out there living their life. But for whatever reason, this environment that we live in right now, with this particular environment, everybody is on quit everything you got going on just to start a family.
That's crazy. Because I'm not really sure. Was she older or younger? But I know this lady grew up in my hometown. She wasn't here from like birth. She might have like moved here, but she spent a a good little while here, right? Knows a lot of people that I know. I'm not really sure what her profession is or whatever, but like she's a single mom and she does that exact same thing. She's out traveling. She takes her son to, you know, fancy little dinner dates. They at like a 5-star restaurant. He's just sitting there just like enjoying life, you know, and not once has she complained. Not once have I seen her like, you know, bashing the man that helped her bring the child to be. I don't know her situation, you know, fully or, you know, in detail, but she's out here living her best life with a child, a single mother. You know,
Mm-hmm.
usually the stigma for a black black single mother, you know, out here spoiling, traveling with their child. A lot of times when you have that formula, black single mother, it's always a negative stigma. It's always uh sh- she don't know who the baby daddy is, or you know, she was taken advantage of, you know, a whole bunch of things that just doesn't scream out positivity. Like they're regretting having the child. The child wasn't planned, or they just a whole bunch of things that are just not the well. They are the social norm, but they're not. They're not positive. It's
They're the
98%.
environmental norm. It's
Yeah,
the
you know.
environmental norm.
And it's we see it. We see that there's opportunities, that there's things out here to get us out of this environment of I'm gonna have this kid and all my plans for life, all my dreams, my career, all that's gonna shut down when I have this kid. When I have this kid, everything is just gonna be put on pause, and then I'ma just collect that check. I'm gonna have this kid. I ain't gonna have to worry about nothing. I'm gonna collect the check at the end of the month, the year. When
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when those things come in, but uh,
Want some more?
or I'm gonna have this kid because this person is not really showing me affection, but this kid will help this person draw in that affection towards me. So I'm a
All right, we going in a different direction, bro. Uh, so I don't know for real
Mhm.
if this is a male exclusive thought process. I just
No,
don't know. I just like I know for a fact like
you froze. Hold on.
they huh?
You froze for a little bit. All right, you back.
All right. I just know for a fact that women they carry the kid and unconditionally they in that mode like this is my baby. I do anything for my baby.
Mhm.
I be anything I need to be for my baby. And I get that, you know, like they they don't necessarily have that thought like but men like we are like and women they dog us out sometimes for being this way, for being the way that we are. But it's literally we are wired to be this. We're wired to be the provider. We're
Mhm.
wired to be the protector. We're wired to be the problem solver. Like that's why women cry around us, and the only thing that we know to do is to shut up and get to work. Like I don't care,
Mhm.
like it ain't got to be your woman, bro. Like that's how deep it is. Like that, we are that. That's we are built that way. We are wired that way. That's how God built
Crazy.
us to
Yeah.
to defend, provide, protect. That's what we were built for. So like when we are in a position where we're not providing as much, we're not
Mhm.
providing the things that we think we need to provide. When we get into that as men, when we get to that point, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
When we feel that it's dangerous, bro, because we as men we're always in a mode of stasis trying to figure out how to get out of that. We're always in that mode. So here's the thing, like you know, I'm trying to provide, I'm trying to figure out how to provide for my not only my family that's in front of me and that means, but my future wife, but my future children. I'm trying to figure out how to provide for them. And then on top of that, my future wife is in a situation that I can't protect her from. And then my children are being born in a situation that I can't protect them from. So now it puts me in a situation where I don't feel like a leader because I am in a certain situation. And it goes deep. It goes real deep, bro. So like for real, I just want people to know. I just I want, because like I unfolded a lot there. All right, I want people to know out there that there is no defined route to where you're trying to go. Like I don't care what it like. Obviously, like you got a plan to do something. You got 5-year goals, all this other stuff. You wrote it down. You said 5 years I'm gonna do this. You have a kid, you gonna have to pivot. Like it is what it is. You're gonna have to pivot. But just because you have a child doesn't mean that it gotta end. Now, one of the biggest problems I'm seeing is that, and I've taken my advice from people who had goals, who had dreams, but they get with a significant other who say, "Yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah, that's good." But when they had kids, all of a sudden their significant other shot down their dreams and goals. The kid didn't do that. The kid didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So you went and got with somebody who, they kinda accepted what you were trying to do with your life. Kinda.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And they y'all had kids. And at some point after y'all had kids, your significant other was just like, you know what? You remember all that stuff that you were doing? You ain't making no money doing that. You ain't doing this, doing that. Go ahead and cancel that.
That little hobby you got going on.
That little hobby you got going on. That little thing you doing inside, yeah. They end up hitting you with the Turk.
Yeah. Ooh, all that extracurricular. Yeah.
All the extracurricular activity you doing.
But but before I don't want to brush off like the question you have, that nagging question of, will I be able to provide for my kid? Like just having that question in your mind, in the back of your mind, already instills or tells you that you're gonna be a great father. There's no question that you're gonna be a great father because you have that mindset. It's I ain't gonna say I love to see it because people are stressing over it, but like when people are stressing over, all right, how am I going to provide? How am I going to protect my child? You instantly get a feeling that this person they have that motherly or fatherly instinct to do all they can for their child, right? And it's crazy. It's baffling how some people don't have it. They have kids and they can look at their kid
I'm
and
trying to
just
figure out how they do it, bro. I
see
really
nothing.
am, dog.
Uh, I like how you said provide and protect. I like how you explain that because uh, in a similar situation, like the situation that happened with court or whatever, right? Like as soon as that happened, I instantly went into like, all right, it's go time. I'm gonna have to overclock the computer. I'm gonna have to overclock myself. We gotta get out of this place. Like it's baffling how everybody that was like involved. I'm pretty sure everyone thought that they were doing the right thing. Like they truly believed that they were doing the right thing,
For them.
and like right. And I sat there and I pondered on that, and I'm like, I don't think I know I know I can't be in a place like that. Like that is dangerous. Like
Yeah.
being around people that can think that way. I don't like it. It makes me itch now. Every time I go into the bed, I'm like, I'm just here to do my 10 hours and I just want to go home. But
Hmm.
like uh being with Court and in her situation, she does have a child, not by me but by another person, and just uh going through that, just being around, uh I've seen her struggle with that same mentality. Am I doing enough for him? Am I doing the best I can? Some days, she's already given her all, and at the end of the day, she still feels like I should have done more. Should have done this, and I'm like, he's fine. He knows that you love him. He knows that you care. Like you can obviously see that this boy is attached to her, like hip on the hip. Like he in the holster. He is tucked away. He is sealed. There's no deterring them to apart. There's no questioning that they're not son and child. Like, I mean, mom and
Mother and
child.
child.
Yeah, and like not a lot of people have that, and especially in her situation, not a lot of kids have that. Not a lot of uh mothers have that good relationship with their son or daughter, and it's it's almost it's simple, but it's like it's complex at the same time. Like we like you said, you overthink things. We overthink things. We're like, all right, I don't want to cut my child short. I don't want to
Right.
cut anything. Uh, uh, I want to give him the all. That's the main thing. We want to give our child everything we can
Right.
possibly give them. But like, what does that look like? Because we don't know what that looks like. We have to figure it out ourselves, and also, bring them up along with us.
Yeah.
Um, because life is short, and or may yeah, it's short because a lot of people's timeline is, uh, we go to school, we go to high school until we're like what 18 or something. You have
Hmm.
about 2 I'm gonna say 2 to maybe 5, maybe 8 years to kind of get yourself together, and then you're already settling down at like your 27, 30s. You're settling down with a young lady, having kids and whatever, and
Depends on
then
where you from.
yep,
That
very much
depends
so.
on where you from.
Sometimes it's a little earlier, but sometimes it's a
Yeah,
little
if you
later.
from if you from Virginia, it's 20. It's 20. Yeah.
God, jeez. Yeah, well,
Don't act like it ain't real, bro.
yeah, because I learned something recently. I was like,
Folks be trying to settle down with high school sweethearts here, bro. Like it's crazy.
facts. My dad had my oldest brother. Apparently at I think like he was like 19, 20. And I was like, Jesus, I don't. I was like, I can't
Your
remember
oldest
what I
brother.
was.
Three of y'all. Still three of y'all, right?
Yeah, it's 3 of us. 3 of us.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The oldest one, he came in when my dad was like 19, 20. And I was like, I can't even remember what I was thinking about at 19, 20. But I digress. Um,
Oh, shit.
I just want to say, like, you have to have a not a golden heart mindset, but just have to have a mindset to give, to provide, and protect. And usually 9 times out of 10, everything works out for that child. Um, but for some reason, we've made it a stigma that we need to just bump everything. We can't have a career. We can't have a fun lifestyle when we have kids. For some reason, there's a stigma of, and it's crazy why we have that stigma. Because back in the day, that's all we have. You see families, of 20 plus.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like my mom's family, bro.
Mm-hmm.
13.
Like uh grandma got a picture that used to always hang up on the wall. It's a whole family reunion.
It
That's
like she was a
one
school
family.
teacher. It
That's
like she was a school
one.
teacher. They live in
Mm-hmm.
the same house. It like a class picture.
Facts. It's always mom and dad in the middle, and then siblings. Whole picture frame.
Wall to
Siblings.
wall.
They kids. And I'm like, what? And crazy enough, they made a living. They provided for their family. You know, there was you go to the family reunions, you see uncles, aunties, uncles, aunties. You see this whole table filled with nothing but aunties and uncles.
They had to sleep. They had to sleep head to foot though.
But they
In the
they
same
made
bed.
it work. They made it work. I ain't gonna say it was the best, but they made it work.
Yeah,
At least put that hard work that, you know, great grandma and great grandpa had. Put
had to
that
do pork
unit.
and beans.
Oh, big old pot of pork and beans. Take that formula, that hard working formula that I'm going to provide, I'm going to protect, I'm going to build this legacy of unity and support and pass that down. Cause crazy enough, like and I've seen it happen on like both families, which is sad. Like once great grandma or once grandma and grandpa passed, you know, it ain't too many family reunions. It ain't too many
You know
just,
what
you
I'm
know,
saying?
getting
Yeah,
together out the blue, you
yeah.
know. Uh so take the good things, the positive things out of those formulas, you know, tweak the negative things a little bit and then, you know, apply that to your life. You know, make your own little legacy, make your own path to greatness. And it can all happen with a child. It can all happen that I'm still saying this today. There's a man out here that's a full-time game developer with
Mhm.
6 kids. And I think he's
Mhm.
working on number 7. 6 to 7 kids. And y'all
And
tripping over one?
the guy that I followed, he not even a famous author. He just a indie author that
Mm-hmm.
started writing like not even 5 years ago. He has 3 kids and was working a full-time job as a nurse. We talking
Oh,
16-hour shifts, and my man still wrote
right?
more books than me last year, bro.
Come on.
And I ain't got kids yet. Like, yo, I was like, well, damn. All
Right,
right, I see
right.
I see where I'm messing up at. I see. Like, I need more devotion. So, like, if
Mm,
he's able to do it, there's no reason I shouldn't be able to do it. It's just a matter of how much you're willing to sacrifice on it, like realistically,
yeah.
obviously, because you can't be unrealistic about how much you sacrifice because you'll mess around and burn yourself out bad. And I was, as Marcus was talking, I was interrupting him with a whole bunch of monkey wrenches is what I'm gonna call them. But regardless, he still found a way to figure out how to finish that sentence, even though that statement, even though I was throwing those monkey wrenches, and that's how it's going to look in life, right? That's how
Mm,
it's going to look in life. You're going to come across these situations. You're going to come across stressful things. You're going to have moments where you're like, yo, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
mm. Yeah,
I don't know what the
yeah.
fuck I'm doing, but you're still gonna figure it out. And that's what I'm trying to keep in mind. You still gonna figure it out. That's why I'm like every time I think that I'm about to regress, I just like, yo, just jump forward. Just jump. Just do it.
Mm,
Cause you're not gonna figure it out until it happens. So let's not think about it too much. Like you gonna mess around and miss your window of opportunity. You're 32, right, bro? You ain't getting no younger. So like before your little swimmers dry up, go ahead and make it happen because you're gonna have to figure it out along the they say our color we last a long time. So I don't know. I don't know if there's any validity to that. I just know that people having kids at 50, but I don't want to have no damn kids at 50. I'm just being honest with you. I ain't in that. I'm not in that mind space to be having kids at 50. I'm trying to retire and whatever kids we got. Just y'all grown now. Get out my house.
mm,
Just that's how I'm trying to figure it out. But like for real, You don't figure it out until you in the moment. Like you gotta go there. And like for those people out there that's telling you that you can't succeed with kids, like that's how you know you in the wrong environment right there, right? That's how you know you in the wrong one. It's like if the people around you are telling you that you can't do it and you know you can, you got to go. Like that's how I'm feeling right now. And that's how I know that, how my weekend is gonna go because I was told that twice this week. I was told that twice, bro, by two different people. And one, even one I respect on a different kind of level because she got a little bit more experience. But I remembered that she was a kid with her kids, so like I ain't even like I can't even say like yo you really ain't live life like that. So like I don't even know why I asked you that. It's like I got respect for you, but you obviously ain't there. It's like we not talking about success like when we have conversations. So one of the biggest things that no disrespect to her, she a good person and all that, but we not in the same place in our lives. Like but one of the biggest things that's going to make or break you as a successful human being or a successful person, and it's going to determine how much you're able to do. Because I know dudes who got big goals, big dreams and goals, but for whatever reason, they ain't doing nothing. And usually, when somebody got big dreams and goals and they not doing nothing, it's because they only had the ability to do something. And I'm hoping, because I know hormones change things and all that other stuff. I'm hoping that things stay relatively the same, but we just got a human being that's like this tall that won't shut the hell up. I'm hoping that's the only thing that really makes a difference. I'm hoping that things don't change on a emotional level or a mindset level. But as far as I can see, I am still gonna have my goals in front of me, and I'm going to be encouraged from the other side. So if it as it takes they say it takes a village to raise a child, man. That's what they say. It takes a village to raise a child. And the first part of that village that they're talking about in that statement is the village that's inside the house. That's the first part of that village. And if both people are working towards the same goal, like there's like Alyssa's talking about getting pregnant, and it's the weirdest thing, bro. I don't think I've ever heard no shit like this, but it's the weirdest thing. Alyssa still's talking about getting pregnant for whatever reason, still talking about quitting her job. I'm like, how does that work? Not me quitting my job, my bad. I'm like, how does that work? So for real, it's going to take the opposite side, and both sides being supportive of one another, coming up with a real plan to make a real goal actually happen. And us as men, we're going to have to come back off of that ego, learn to live life in the moment, because what ends up happening most of the time, and it happened with me, I spent way too much time focusing on me. And what that did was I spent time focusing on what I didn't have, what I couldn't provide, even though it was for the family. It was for the family, but I was focusing on what I couldn't provide, what I couldn't do, what I couldn't achieve. Like those were things that I was focused on for me, but my ex's daughter wasn't worried about any of that.
Yeah.
So like, take the ego out of it, be present in the moment, and just do what you can, man. And be around people who've done it, because like those are gonna be the people who going, or not even if the people ain't even done it yet. Talk to somebody who in the process of doing it with you. Maybe you got somebody who like I got Marcus. Marcus is in the process of doing it. My man he stepped in as the father, and he's been doing it for five almost 5 years now, man.
Almost 5, yeah.
Crazy, man. That dude, little dude, was 2 years old when you got in the picture.
No, he was couple months.
Oh, he was. Yeah, he was younger than that. Hell yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He was.
Was he
Yeah,
just
I
turned
remember.
5 or 4?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like I got Marcus, so like, and I know for a fact that he ain't about to sit up here and say, "Yo, I quit, man." uh, you know that video game stuff I got going on, bro. I quit, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. Like it just ain't happening, man. I know it ain't. I know that won't. I won't get that from him. So, but I know that there's some people at our job that um, they'll try to convince me to make sure that I make the quote unquote right decision based
Mhm.
on the things that they understand. That they don't understand your life. People, chances are the people that you talk to don't understand the things that you're trying to go through or the things that you're trying to go to. Like they don't understand those heights. So just keep your mouth shut, do what you need to do and make it happen, bro. Like do it in your spare time.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, hmm. I like how you went there. At first I didn't know if you was gonna go there or not when you first started, but you did touch up on how when that ego part, like you're doing it for yourself, but then you could also fall into I need to do this for my wife and my kids, and then you completely get wrapped up in that mindset of I need to do, I need to do, I need to do, and not live in the moment. You totally neglect your kids, and then they grew up to resent you because you was never there and whatnot. But then you make that excuse, or well, I was doing it all for you. I wasn't there because I was doing XYZ for you and all this other stuff. But like, I ain't gonna say they don't care about all that, but like, you have to be there. You have to be present
Right.
also. Like you have to find that healthy balance of your work life and being there for the child, being there for your wife. You can't just make a little man cave for yourself and like spend all your time in there working to
Yeah.
provide for your family.
Yeah.
It sounds good on paper, it sounds logical, but it, it's not.
Does it? Because like I said, we dealing with other humans at this
Hmm.
point, and your significant other might have goals too. So you got to figure out it's a two-way
Hmm.
street.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a two-way street. Like my goal and Alyssa goal ain't the same goal. So
That's
we're
true.
gonna have to work twice as hard to make sure that because she started off with that, I'm gonna support you with yours, and I'm like, yo, that ain't gonna work. I know that ain't gonna work. You got goals. Like you need to bring those out. Like
Hmm.
I know that ain't gonna work. So like for real. And here she is trying to she doing the same thing that we doing with the Dirty Trump podcast. Like she's starting a completely different brand outside of this under Ascension. Like she's working on the website now. So like yeah, it's a two-way street, man. It's not just your street.
And that's what it means right there. It takes a village to raise a family. Having that group of friends, that group of family that has came up on many different routes, has been on many different journeys to give their input, to give their advice, to give
Mm-hmm.
their outlook, their positive and or negative, insight on things to raise that child. Like, uh and then sometimes it all just boils down, like, sometimes uh mom and dad need a break. Sometimes uncle and auntie need a break. Sometimes grandma and grandma need a break. Grandpa and grandma. Uh, they're there to help, but they're also there to, you know, uh, uh, uh give advice, you know.
Yeah.
Uh they're not always there to, you just drop your kids off with them and, you go about your business. Uh
As much as that sound good, because that's how my mom did it for me.
yeah.
That shit sound real good.
Yeah.
My grandma was always taking care of me, man.
Mhm. Yep. A lot of young people, a lot of people our age, there's a special place in our heart for, grandma,
know
Uh,
what I'm saying?
they were always the sweetest.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just having that mindset. People that have that mindset of I want to provide and that are worrying that they're not gonna provide enough. Uh, it's all a learning process. You won't know until it happens. You won't know until you dive into that thing and uh get it started and
Yeah.
just do it. You have to live your life,
Yeah.
regardless. If you don't live it, it's just gonna happen to you. Uh
Yeah.
you can go through the motions, have that child and be indifferent about things, and that child is just gonna grow up any kind of way. Like you didn't teach that child anything, you didn't give them any direction, you just like, I'm here. There has to be a healthy balance of discipline, playfulness, uh love, toughness. It has to be a complete equal balance so you can bring that child up. It's
Right. Right.
but yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's real.
Mostly people in that mindset of worrying and doubt, you kind of get a feel, like I said before, you kind of get a feel that they're going to be a great parent because they have that doubt. You know, uh, a lot of people that are great in their career in their field, you know, they work hard to where they don't make mistakes. Even though they know and worry that they're going to make mistakes, they work hard to not make those mistakes. That's why they're great. Because even though uh people outside of their career or outside their field, outside the relationship, they look at them, they can look at Mac, they can look at me like, man, you got a perfect relationship, but they don't see the doubt or worry that goes behind that. They don't see
Go
the
ahead, a conversation when the curtain closed.
that right, they don't see what happens behind closed doors. They don't see
Hmm.
the disputes, the arguments, the things that happen to bring together this strong unity, to bring together
Yeah.
this strong relationship and
Yeah.
whatnot. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
That,
good thing that you're having these thoughts and whatnot.
I swear, the weirdest thing that I've been hearing recently is power couple, and I'm like, yo, how in the hell are you getting that out of two people who work for
Corporate.
corporate America? Like, just go put it like that, corporate America. How are you getting that out of this? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I wish you could see what's going on in my mind. I'm like, yo, that sound real good, but I am struggling over here.
Or that one buddy to the person that brought this topic. No, I think it was him, wasn't it? The one that said, oh, y'all could do things like that because y'all got two incomes coming in.
Right, right, exactly, exactly. Meanwhile, he got one and be able to stack up and still can't do it. Like, had a card stacked with you and still can't do it. That's crazy. That's insane. Another one more thing that I was told that I think
Mm-hmm.
might actually add value to this conversation was if you have to indulge yourself in work as a father, always make sure you keep that line of communication open with your kids. Always let them know, like, while you're doing something, that you're doing something. And one of the biggest challenges with me that I like, bro, I am not patient with kids. And I think it was because I had to have sibling out of my cousins
Uh-huh.
because we were just in the same environment, same place at the same time. Their grandma as my mom's sister. So they were always around me for whatever reason, and I ain't really like them like that. So like, and they were younger, so like
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to be alone, but for whatever reason they were always there. So I kind of got impatient with kids over the years, and I think that's where that stems from. But like one of my biggest challenges was, like when I'm busy, when I say I'm busy, don't bother me. And I know that's something I need to work on because what ends up happening is you say you busy, you turn a child away, and then all of a sudden the child is like they sad because
Mm-hmm.
they daddy just shoved them away and they don't understand why. So like one of those things is like, make sure that and it's just like being in a relationship with a spouse, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can't just do stuff without, without your spouse knowing. Like your
Yeah.
spouse have to be aware of what you got your hands on. So like, just explain it, just be patient, just let them know like, yo, this is work. So like try not to, but like, give me like an hour or something. Like, when the big hand touches this, when the big hand touches this number and the little hand touches that number, then daddy is gonna be done. So, come get me when that happens. Teach your cat. You can use that as a teachable moment, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's all kind of ways I could have did it, man. I wasn't always, the in that mind space in that head space, man. I was a little younger when that was going on, and I was still in the process of learning myself. So, you know, just be transparent with your kids, man. Just make sure that they that they are fully aware of what's going on, fully aware of the sacrifices that you're making, and let them know, like when they ask questions like, "Why do you do this so much? What is the purpose behind this?" Let them know, like, I'm doing this because we don't have it. I'm doing this
Mm-hmm.
because I want more. I'm doing this because I want a better lifestyle for you, your mom, your brothers, your sister. I'm doing it because I see better for our family and I want to do more. Like your kids can have that conversation with you. Like, man, they can start having that conversation. And some people don't want to talk about money with their kids. It's like, hey, fuck that. Like, your kids can start having that conversation as early as 3 years old.
Mm.
I promise you, they'll be fine. As long as you don't come at them with doom and gloom, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Because a lot of times people they don't communicate with their kids. It's uh 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 stay in a child's place. They
Hmm.
supposed to just not understand like what you're going through, what you're doing for them, and all this other stuff. And what you just said reminded me of that TikTok trend that kind of I think it fizzled out. I haven't seen too much of it lately, but and I didn't even understand it at first. But it was like uh, it would be the same person, it'd be one person, and they're like they got a lighter. They'll light the lighter or light the match, try to give it to their parent, and then the parent blows out the flame, passes the lighter back. They light the lighter again. They try to give it to their parent. The parent blows it out, gives it back to the child, and then the child looks at it and they figure out it's like all right, and then they don't light it. They give it back to the parent. The parent lights it, and then the child blows it out. And it's supposed to simulate attention. The child is looking for to for their parent to be present. They're trying to give them a light, give them their ray of sunshine or whatever that symbolized to the person making a TikTok. And once you get to like a certain age, once a child is neglected for so long, or like you said, turned away for so long, they become numb to it. They're like, all right, this person doesn't care. My father, my mother, they don't care. So I'm gonna just do my own thing. And then at that point, it's usually too late. Then you see it in all the Hallmark movies or the dramaful movies. The child doesn't have a great relationship with their parent, and now that the child is doing their own thing, the parent wants to be a part of their life, wants to be a asset to them, but you treated your child like he was a liability or she was a liability up until she was umpteen years old, and now you're trying to build this relationship when they've already built the narrative that you're not a supporter, you're not a provider or protector. You were just there. You were just a person that was there in their life. Not a person that provided them any type of substance, any type of nourishment to their mental. You were just there. You know.
You're gonna end it on that. All right.
Uh, so be a part of your child's life, people. Just get into the mindset of I'm gonna be better for that child than I was yesterday, and then you got it. You've unlocked the cheat code, the secret, the big problem that you couldn't solve. That's it. Just constantly try to be better while being in the moment with that child, and you'll be great. They'll understand it. Like once they get to a certain age, once life hits them, they're gonna be like, oh, this is
That's
what my
why that
parents were.
happened.
Yeah, that's why that happened. This is why my parents were doing
Oh,
XYZ.
I
This
get it
is
now.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You gonna fight me for the last word? You gonna take it all away, bro?
You had anything else?
Nah, man. That's about it, bro.
All right, all
I laid my soul down.
right.
Good.
Word. And it's always good to have like-minded people like us. Like I, it feels weird saying it, but like we're built different from like the social norm. Like
You know what I'm
I've had
saying?
a person in your position on the other half. Um, she was like, "So how did you feel going into the situation you're in now?" And I was like, "Didn't really affect me none." Back in I grew up with the mindset that uh I would raise a child even by myself if I had to. If I couldn't provide and protect, I would adopt even, and do that thing. The legacy of a Morton was gonna live on one way or another.
Right.
Uh, I've just always had that mentality, like it was just instilled in me.
Yeah.
I nurtured it. I've been a provider, protector. Anyone that needs help, I'm there for them. Uh, she asked for a whole different reason. She asked
Of course.
because for some reason
She
she
wanted
only
information.
she was like she only attracts those type of men, and I'm like, that's that I can't give you an answer for that. That's not
Wait,
that's
wait.
not what this conversation was all about. First of
Wait, we talking about the one that used to work with us on
all,
in the back? Okay. All right. Yep.
yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Never mind then.
She was like, I
All
only
right.
attract men with babies and all this other stuff, and I'm like, mm,
There's a reason for that, but we ain't got to
yeah,
get into that. We ain't got to
we
get into
don't, we don't.
that.
But all right, people. We got anything coming up, Mac?
Nah, man. I'm still working on book 5, man. Chipping away at the old Marvel block on that one.
Mm,
Still heavily anticipating getting back into book 1 so I can do a refresh and rebranding of the entire series, and I'm stoked about that, man. I am stoked.
word. Um, not much going on over here. Just like before. Just trying to do better. Trying to be better. Working on things to get out of the situation we are in now, to get out of corporate. Uh,
Yeah,
like I said, I'm trying to overclock this computer. Not really, just figuratively.
I
I
was
don't,
about to say you got it from a certain individual. I wouldn't try it.
uh, I don't even know where to start to even do all that, but
Oh, guess that's a good thing.
facts. Uh, but yeah, man, just trying to do the best for myself. Do the best for the people I have around me. Um, and that's about it. So,
Well, all right.
with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always say with me is the Aaron Mack. And before we leave, remember to trample over that like and subscribe button. Share this with your friends because we do this for y'all because we love y'all. And always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.